Yep, Gearhead Rob at it again, and today we are covering the On3 triple pump fuel system for 79 to 04 cars. Yes, that's right, it fits all those cars. This install is covering the Fox body, and I will be getting into the new edge stuff. I have already pre-assembled this hat. It's got 3 pumps in it, Aeromotive pumps. You can use AEM. The On3 pumps do just fine, guys, but some of you guys want a name brand pump. You can put 2 Walbro 450s in this tank. You do have to heavily modify the fuel hat, though. You got to take the base and literally cut it in half, and 2 450s fit, but not 3. And it will support a 1,000 wheel with 2 450s in it. So if you want, just 2 pumps, you can do it that way. Of course, this fits all the cars, but do not use the vent from the Fox body. You're going to have to get the blue piece from a 99 up. Go to your local junkyard and pull the vent, the rubber grommet, unless the rubber grommet's good, the tank neck seal, and the filler neck, because that's the filler neck you need to modify. On3's been saying for years that the Fox body fuel neck fits these cars. No, it don't. They modified a new edge because they parted out a Cobra to build On3 car, and it had a new edge filler neck, not a Fox body filler neck, because the Fox body filler neck doesn't even physically fit the hole in the On3 tank. So this is where everybody gets confused. This is the number one tech phone call I get all the time on this fuel system. Why is the check valve for this not going to work with the new edge? Well, because the Fox body had a bigger neck. The fuel flowed differently. The air flows differently from here. It needed less room. You're going to need the blue thing from a new edge car, and you're going to need the filler neck. You're going to need to get the plastic tube. Like I show in the install guide, there's a plastic tube that comes off, and you can piece the hose together and connect it back to the filler neck, and then the car will fill fine. And that's also how you do it in the new edge cars too. I got pictures of this mod in there, and I'm going to be covering the filler neck because I don't have a filler neck. But I'm covering the fuel system today because this car has already been plumbed. It's a Fox body, and I have a new edge here with the same plumbing, different motor. This fuel system will work with any driveline. I don't care if it's a small block Ford, small block Chevy, LS motor, Coyote motor. You can make a killer return system with the On3 stuff, guys. And it's cheaper than everything else out there. And you can build it your own self, too. But anyway, you can see here, we used all PTFE line. All PTFE. The On3 regulator works just fine. I offer vacuum tubing. It fits this as well. And you can see main feed hose comes in, feeds the front of the rails. Yes, these are 190s or 180s, and then we return off the back of the rails and then return back to the tank. All the plumbing is under the car, outside of the frame rails per NHRA specs, etc., etc. And the fuel filter is mounted under here, right in this area here. And of course, it's all kept away from the suspension. And I'm covering this fuel system stuff because a lot of guys ask me, plumbing and routing. This stuff is pretty easy to work with. Figure paying, a shop anywhere from 10 to 15 plus hours for an install. The On3 kit does come complete with rail fittings, even. And they work great with the Aeromotive rails. That's why I have all the Aeromotive rails listed. We ended up using this on this intake setup. I've got all the other rails available to you guys so I can make this a complete fuel system. Need injectors? We got those too. GM's, Ford, Chrysler, Deshworks, ID, Decas, FIC, there's so many, Fuel Injector Clinic and whatever else. There's a ton of injectors out there. We get everything under the sun. This is one of the reasons why I like the On3 stuff. Now, it still fits the new edge cars perfectly too. It's completely 100% installed in this car. Fuel filters under the main of the car. Same principles here. 10 A&N feed up, split, feed in front of the rails, return into the regulator off the back, and then return back to the tank off the regulator. This car's got a fuel pressure gauge, and yes, it's got Aeromotive, but the fitting sizes are different. So, if you really want an Aeromotive regulator, we can get you in there. I'll try to put a package together, and look, On3 fittings for the rails with fast rails. Yes, as long as it's an 8 A&N fuel rail, the On3 kit fits it. Now, I did add, different fittings to this fuel system. I added 90s to this one, and I added 180s to that one. And Fragola PTFE fittings fit the On3 hose perfectly, and those are the ones I can sell you. Sometimes, like this car here, this is what I used. On3 does not sell a fitting like that. They don't have a fitting like that, so don't ask me for a fitting like that. I can get these through Fragola. It's the same damn fittings if you look at them. As far as I'm concerned, they look the same. I paid a good amount of money for that Fragola because it's a 180, and we're feeding from the front. So, you can feed from the back and return from the, front, but I'd rather push the fuel to the front and then let gravity pull it back over the injectors better. I mean, that's how Aeromotive has been setting fuel systems up. And next video I'm going to cover is the Fox Body Tech. I want to use this car as well for the Fox Body video here in a few minutes. Yes, I'm covering all the On3 shit as always. So, assembling a hat can be a bitch for these guys, but it's a pain in the ass. I've heard tell that the last 50 sensors are in for the fuel level, and they don't know if they're ever getting any more. A lot of you guys haven't used this sensor anyway because it's a pain in the fucking ass to install it with the fuel pumps. But we can do it. I can build this fuel system however you want. If you want, I can build the hat assembly, pre-assemble it, and seal it. We haven't sealed this one yet because I found a certain epoxy that fits this and works with this real well to seal these holes up. And this isn't the first time. I mean, I've done a bunch of these fuel systems now, as you can tell. I got 2 of them in here now that we're doing. Remember, get the blue check valve. You're going to have to gut it and then run the hose around to the filler neck from the new edge for the Fox install. New edge guys, don't worry about it at all. It all goes right into the car rather easy, and you've already got the pieces you need. So don't worry about that stuff. I'm going to be working on getting that check valve and the grommet, the tank seal, and new edge filler necks, and maybe even modifying him for these, but that's going to be down the road, guys. I still haven't got to making the Coyote ABS drop down bracket yet because shit's been crazy this year. I wish I could find a place that was local to me that could make little brackets and stuff like that for me on a relatively quick basis and turn around, and I could offer them for you guys. So keep that in mind. This is Gearhead Rob covering the 79 to 04 fuel system, and of course gearheadbuilt.com. Click on the On3 install button, and if you have the password already, you can see all the tech threads that I keep talking about in all these videos. I've got tons and tons of pictures to add to all of them, of both of these cars actually, for the fuel system stuff. I'm going to be getting into my wiring setups this time around because this car already had like a 450 pump in it. So I'm modifying the wiring completely all the way down through it now. And we're going to have to come down to the filler neck issue that a lot of you guys have already ran into and remedied. None of you got back to me. But the next video is going to be covering the On3 Fox Body fuel, or the Fox Body system. And because a lot of you guys have been jumping up and down on Facebook, hey, do another Fox Body video. Well, I'm just now building one. So, well, this is a hell of a one, so, as you can tell. But I'll get into what plug wires I use on these, how to vent the crankcase properly, and all that jazz in the next video. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. And I'm trying to come up with an idea of what to charge to get access to the forums. I mean, if you guys are buying parts from me and getting all your stuff through me, I have no problem giving you access. It's just, I can't be giving away all this info anymore because, I mean, I've been doing it for years and other places have taken advantage of it, and I'm kind of over it. I mean, I've got a ton of time wrapped up into this stuff, and I put a ton of time into these videos. Here it's like 1 a.m. and I'm doing this video because it's quiet and, well, I can cover this stuff for you guys. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, gearheadbuilt.com. Make sure you're following us on Facebook because sometimes I do TurboTech Live on there as well. Thanks everybody for your support, and more videos to come.